What up, Napshot Nation? This is your boy Deeban, and we have Sunil here today. And
What's up?
oh
What's up? What's up?
wait, Sunil, why is it just the two of us? Where's
Just
everyone
the
else?
two of us. We
Just
can make it like we try. Just the two of us.
it's quite confusing, right? I mean, we usually come in with like a crew of, we can probably feel like a 11 aside. That's how many we have, right? And then today it's just down to the two of us. Like, you see, I get it that certain people can't come on the show. After being in seventh heaven, they went down all the way to have some cherry aid down low. And I mean, a certain someone can come in after the 7-0 mauling. They couldn't even beat Southampton. But what about the elephant that won 3-0? And what about the Habibi? Hmm. And even the Bentaleb, they also won as well. And none of
Exactly.
them
So
are.
it was actually a very good week of games for Napshot Studio fam.
Yeah, but I don't understand where the fellas went. None of them. You know what? It doesn't matter. We will carry on with the show. We will run this therapy. Whoever needs therapy, you can come on board and we will get this show rolling. Sunil, how are you, my man?
I am good. I am good. I am happy after the win yesterday.
That's right. That's right. Like what? That's a much needed win after such a long time for you guys, right?
About time. About time.
Yeah, and that leaves the the race wide open for Champions League spot once again.
Which we
As
were
for
talking about.
us, West Ham hasn't been the best of teams for us. We haven't beat them in the last 10 games. Last 5 games has been losses. So getting a draw at London Stadium, I mean, yes, it's 2 points loss, but I will take it rather than a loss. So it's been a good. I got a D instead of a LOW. I got the D, not the D that I wanted, but the D, right? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, Sunil, shall we just go into the show? But before that, we've got like we don't have much viewers this time around, as I mentioned, right? Some fellas went back into the cave, some fellas decided to stay in the cave. So we have about 15,000 people watching us tonight. So what do they have to do before we continue?
Like, share, subscribe. You know what to do, guys. You know what to do.
Exactly. So before we start, right? Before we start, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Let's just take a look at this particular table, right? And
Manchester United.
wrong one. That was last week. This one. Look at the table, bro. Look at the table. I've never seen an EPL season, right, where everything is so tight. Whether it's for the title, the Champions League spot, the Europa spot, or even the relegation battle. But
I,
do you see
I,
there's just one team there on its own who doesn't care about anyone? You guys can get relegated for all I care. You guys can win the Champions League. You guys can qualify for the Champions League or Europa. But look at the team down at number 11. They're on the league of their own. 11,
they don't know whether to challenge for Europe or shall we make it interesting in the relegation
the
battle.
relegation battle, right? Like I think
So
the
we'll say that.
only I think right at the end of the season, the only thing that's consolidated, the only team that's guaranteed of this position is a team down there in number 11. I don't.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna finish 11. I don't think we're gonna go up any higher. Like, we had a good result. I mean, we had results going our way over the weekend with Fulham losing, Brighton drawing. I think Brentford lost, right? And I mean, yeah, Chelsea won. We
Yeah.
had we had a good chance to actually win and catch up, but Villa being Villa decided to draw the game, and now we are in mid-table. But before we proceed, I mean, we'll talk about this later, guys. But you look from 12th to 20th, how close that is. 5 points. Look at the race for Champions League, couple of points. We'll come back to that. But before, let's get this into proper. But Sunil, I think someone decided to show up. We have a guest.
Nice.
Shall we bring the guest on board? So
Welcome,
this
welcome.
guy, if I'm not wrong, decided to come out of the cave and represent his team. Let's get him in. What up, Pratip?
Hi,
How are you,
hi.
bro?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good. You guys can hear me? Hello?
Yeah, loud and
Yes, we
clear,
can. We
loud
can
and
hear you
clear.
loud and clear now. So,
Yeah,
Pratip,
yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
I mean, this is my first time seeing you. I think Sunil's first time as well. So, tell us more
All
about
right.
yourself.
Okay, I'm a Liverpool supporter. Just living in the cave
Why
right now.
why are you
Um,
shaking your head when you say that, Pradeep?
yeah,
Why are you shaking your head?
I would love to have had a better season, as in if you're gonna say it. But when you started the season, it was so good. Uh, it's a garbage. It's garbage. There's so much of tactical shit that we're going through right now. Midfield is
Mhm.
shit. And then we have a genius in our midfield called Keita. If he's playing, I think we can just close the team.
Pratik,
So
hold
yeah,
the thoughts, bro. Hold the thoughts. We will come to your
yeah.
team soon. I can see so much of emotions. The only thing that's lacking is the
Pain. It's
tears.
not
The tears.
the emotion that you have as a Liverpool fan right now is pain, depression. These two is just little to
It's a
you.
roller coaster, lah, Pratik, right? From the seven heaven.
No, I wouldn't even say it's roller coaster. I mean, the seven heaven years is amazing. You can have seven up, whatever you want to call it. But past that, year's nothing, man. It's all garbage, absolute
All
garbage
right.
the whole season.
Hold that thought, Pratik. We need you to hold that thought, bottle that emotion, that pain, that anger in. We'll take some
Sure.
comments from our viewers. We'll take some comments. So we have our Mio, Coke Zero. Well, I think he's been saying that ever since that 1-0 loss that Liverpool suffered. I thought they say it was full. Well, they say a lot of stuff, bro. They say a lot of stuff. If you see
Ah,
three Indians running the show, we are full. No, he was talking about the lineup for today, actually. You see three Indians running the show, we are full. We got
More
no
than
place on
enough.
board.
More
More
than
than
enough.
enough. Oh, Sunil, guess who decided to comment today? This fella.
Go.
His team won 3-0. They are sitting right at the top of the tree again. The elephant is right still there. And yet, he wants to comment about my team and he wants to comment about your team.
He's trying to create something, between Villa and Newcastle.
Exactly. We have no rivalry going on, right? Like, come on lah. Read one again. Mio from 7 prata to 1 prata. Mio, I hope you had your prata. 7 prata last week was too much for you. You said, I hope you had that 1 prata. Right, guys, let's get on with the first topic. Let's get on with the first topic. And Pratik, I actually want you to start this off because me and Sunil, we are more neutral.
okay.
What do you think about this?
you throw a menu topic to a Liverpool
I,
fan.
I want to hear from a Liverpool fan point of view, right? That's what we do. We create controversy.
Uh, okay. Let's be neutral. Football fan first. Liverpool
Go
next.
for it.
I think. Okay. To be honest, with Casemiro, it could have gone either ways. Uh, as in, Taylor is a bit garbage at times. But with VAR, it's gonna be you're having two people to go look through it. It's gonna be a bit tricky in this situation. It was that sub challenge.
Yeah.
We have seen it given. We have not seen it given in this case. And I mean, I think it's more of a repetition case. I mean, if you look at any South American players, I mean, for example, you look at Fabinho as well, from our side as well. We have Fabinho. If he was to do the same stuff, I'm sure it's going to be a red. I think we have gotten a red before for it as well. So it's a very delicate situation to be even talking about this right now. But it starts up. But once you got the ball, once you go over it, it's a 50-50 for this as well. So
That's
either
true.
you get it or you don't get it. But in this case, he got it. And even before that, I think the other straight rate he got also. I mean, and that was retarded, to be honest, to get
Yep.
that kind of a red card for the first one. Just put his hands on this. I think it was a throw of the face or something like that. I mean, you could have seen a lot of these idiots doing it in every single point of time. I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I mean, yes, okay, Liverpool menu kind of stuff, but if you look at it from players' point of view, I think it was harsh for the first one, but the second one, I think it should have been a red. It should have been a
And
red.
and and,
Yeah,
and Sunil, you think about this, right? So I think Casemiro got his second red card in like a couple of games, and now he's going to be out for 4 games, right? Four
yeah.
games, and that's a lot considering, like, United is still in the hunt for the Champions League, and and it's wide open, right? With Newcastle, Spurs, and United there, and obviously we're talking about Liverpool who may catch up as well. So
Keyword here is
how
me. Keyword is
Yeah.
here,
me,
me.
yeah, yeah, me.
Keyword
I
is
mean,
me.
let's be honest, right? Brentford, Brighton, they've got 2 games in hand over
Yeah,
Liverpool, right? So, I
yeah.
mean, there's still an outside chance, but it's more of, they may, right? So, Sunil, how detrimental do you think this would be for United's, challenge for the top 4?
Like, I think personally, United has it's a period of transition. This year is transition for them. All right, so for them being in the third position, I think it's already a good achievement. Ten Hag's
Mm-hmm.
first full season. It's a
Mm-hmm.
good achievement for them, but they've not gotten it running. I feel like maybe there are some kinks to iron out in that team. They they came, they did well in Europe, and then they have like start-stop results lah. So I feel like yes, this is the fact that the Casemiro challenge. It's now 7. If he misses the next 4 games, right? That's 4 plus 3. That's 7 games missed, and that is massive. Like if you go back to Ten Hag's comments after the game, he actually questioned the. I don't know if he's gonna get into trouble for this lah, but I know a lot of people will get into trouble for actually calling out the referee like that, saying that the refereeing decisions were atrocious. The fact that Casemiro has played over like 500 games in La Liga and not gotten a single red card, and then now to get 2 red cards in was it cup in the
I think
past
3-4 games, yeah, past 3-4 games, right? If I'm not wrong.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Manchester United is on a start-stop. Like as it is this year, for them to even get into the top 4, it would be a big achievement because it is Ten Hag's first season. And as a neutral, I mean, yes, we lost the Carabao Cup final to them, but as a neutral, he's getting players. He's still getting the best out of his players. So yeah, this result would be another setback for them. But
That's true.
it's just how they bounce back lah. I think they have a Europe game coming up against Betis.
Against Betis, second leg, right? So, but okay, this Mio here is a United fan, and he's saying that it is not supposed to be a red card, right?
No, but this is what they are clamping down on.
Yes.
I mean,
the stats.
I mean, if you notice, I mean, from any fan's perspective, even if I want to say, let's say, if Fabinho gets the red card, no, it's not going to be a red card or whatsoever. But if you look at the loss of the game, it was whether you ball first, but when the follow through goes in, the starts up, it's going to be red. But like I said, it's a 50-50. You could have gotten it, you could have not gotten it. Yeah, saying?
No, sorry. Go ahead. No, I was going to say that what Sunil said was right as well. If it's a starts up challenge, I think they're trying to clamp it down because not every day, you can get away with that, and not every day would be a lucky day where he doesn't actually break a leg, or like Haaland's father end a career as well, right? So,
yes, correct. So it's a very delicate situation. Right? With Casemiro, he's a bit, he's very robust. We know he's got he's a really robust challenge, kind of a stuff. So it's meant to happen. But I think like what Ten Hag was saying, 500 games he didn't get a red card or whatsoever. But if you see the standard of the players over at La Liga, disrespect for the La Liga and on Premier League side, that it's more intense in Premier League. And
definitely.
Everyone is going 50-50 and that kind of stuff. In Spanish leagues, if you watch the game, it's a bit more relaxed. From what I see, every game is correct. They're not going to go all starts up for that kind of a stuff. So Casemiro may not have gotten it because if he's going for 50-50, people are like, well, it's Casemiro, I'm not going to go for it. Here in Premier League, like, right? Yeah, you can be Makelele, you can be anyone. I'm going to go for it. Kind of stuff.
True.
So that's what happened for Casemiro as well. So it is what it is. So,
And I think Casemiro he is, what United needed, and he may need to tone down his game a bit. Knowing, the Premier League is a different ball game, right? Compared to any other leagues. They can say whatever they want to say, but the Premier League is a different ball game. Now, let's see. Let's take some comments here. Anwari, Casemiro received the party invitation from Neva.
4 weeks. 4 weeks clock out.
4 games, yeah. On a serious note, do you think United can suck into the top 4 battle? For me, I think if they do not win their next game before the international break, right? And I am not sure who they are playing actually. And if the teams around them actually win the next few games, and Liverpool included, I think they may just get sucked into the battle, and that's tough times for them, right? Considering that they're still playing in the FA Cup and the Europa League, so one game every 3 days is not going to do them favor. So I think, what do you think, Sunil?
I think it's safe to say that firstly, before we look down, let's look up. Firstly, they are out of the title race. It's 16 points. I know that many United fans would be adamant and say that, hey, we are not in the title race. We never said we were in the title race. But at the end of the day, it was a possibility when you guys were on a roll. You could have followed up that Carabao success with a massive few results. And, you are back in it. And like Arsenal dropped a couple of points. You could have gone there. But right now, I think it's safe to say we are not looking up. But at the end of the day, I think they would probably stay thereabouts. They will probably stay thereabouts. I don't see them dropping too many points. I see Ten Hag as someone of a disciplinarian. He's not gonna sit on his laurels and think that, okay, we lost one game, the next game let's just try it out and see what happens. He's probably gonna go in hard, and he's gonna make sure that he solves the problems that are in his team right now.
Yep. Okay, so Mio just actually corrected us. So they're playing Fulham in the FA Cup. I wonder what Joel has got to say about this, since he, loves Fulham this season and he's been going on about them. It'll be just poetic justice if Fulham knocks them out, right? So we can shut Joel up and his Fulham. And then they're playing Newcastle away, and it's not in St. James's Park. We know, it's not a good ground to go to, right? So we'll see what happens. Now, let's stay on the United topic. There was another controversial issue, and that was the handball, right? And obviously, Mio is very disappointed. Mio, I feel you, bro. I didn't get to watch the game. I think you guys watched it. Sunil, you watched it, right?
Yeah.
And Pradeep, did you manage to catch the highlights of it?
I saw the highlights.
So, I want to hear your thoughts, Pradeep. What do you think about that?
If I was to say it's not a handball, it's going to be LFC point of view. But
no, from a neutral. You said neutral perspective earlier.
Yeah, right? To be honest, I think it was a handball. But again, it's a very inconsistent call. Like I said, like I said, Taylor's a garbage referee. The whole game, if you were to watch even the highlights itself, already, as a neutral when I'm watching, it's frustrating to watch it, and so it should have been given. If you are saying that, if let's just go back to Casemiro, if you are going to clamp down to that serious of a challenge, then you should be giving it this handball. At least that's the level of consistency you're looking for, which is why I don't think so. You see English referees being in the FA Cup, in FIFA, and the kind of World Cup and the kind of stuff. And it's basic to be seen down there. So the level of consistency for the refereeing is bare minimum at this junction right now. It's so bad. If you let's just take away, let's put not even United or Liverpool whatsoever. Even if you were to put like a Fulham, a Brentford kind of a game down there, you can see the consistency of that games. The refereeing of the games are bad.
Yep, it is.
If you don't have VAR, for example, you could see that over the years, the calls that have been given was shit as well. So I'm not saying that, I'm not justifying that VAR doing a perfect job, but in this, even for this handball, they should have given it. VAR should have given it. But why is it not given? Because the ref overrules it. It's a very delicate situation down here. If the ref has a clear view.
Yeah.
No,
talking about the ref, sorry, Pradeep. I was just going to say, talking about the ref, we had Joel talking about Anthony Taylor so much, ripping him apart. I think that fella actually took a flight to Manchester to hunt down Anthony Taylor. And he's not going
probably why he's missing today, but yeah, I think so. That's the reason.
Yeah, I think he just took a flight. He's like, you know what? Screw this shit. I'm gonna go after Anthony Taylor. And let's be honest, right? I looking at from the photos, I think it should have been a penalty all day long, right? And I think VAR, as we know, we've spoken about this so many times on our show, so many times. VAR in the English Premier League, VAR is just shit. It's just very bad, very inconsistent. So, it is what it is, though, right? We can't do much about it. I guess we only can moan and groan, but and the game goes on, as much as we can, as much as we complain about it. Now, so let's slowly move on to the next topic, and obviously this topic concerns you, Pradeep. But I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to ask Sunil about this. Sunil, what happened to them?
Okay, I have to admit I did not catch this game. Okay, but I
didn't catch this game. We were out. I was out having dinner, and I couldn't catch this game.
I was honestly thinking that coming off that massive drubbing, I honestly thought Bournemouth was in for another one. Okay, Pratik, we will get to you in a while. I want to know.
Yes.
I had a couple of Liverpool fans, right, who actually said to me that before the Bournemouth game, they already knew that it was a potential banana peel, like they might slip, but I didn't see it that way, if not for in terms of a fantasy Premier League, I thought Salah was going to get a haul,
Don't even go there, Sunil.
I thought Darwin was gonna, even Steven thought that Salah was gonna get a haul.
I
He got
captained that fella. I captained Salah, and he
a
got
zero
me
haul.
0 points.
But yeah, I was very surprised. I was very surprised to see that they couldn't break down Bournemouth. But that's the beauty of the Premier League, because you can't discount any team. And like
Yes.
Bournemouth is fighting for survival. I mean, I don't know. I don't exactly know where they are because the bottom of the table keeps fluctuating.
Yep.
But they are fighting for survival, so you should never ever discount them. You should never
That's
ever
where they are.
discount them. Yeah, they're 18. I think they're
18.
always fluctuating. So you can never
Yeah.
ever discount a team like Bournemouth even. And at their stadium, they
Not a
actually
good, not an easy place to go to be honest. Vitality
and
Stadium
the
is not.
week
You
the
guys
week
drew
be-
1-1 there, right?
the week before they actually was Arsenal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they gave Arsenal a very good run for their money, like
Yeah.
from the early goal to Arsenal getting a 98-minute, although stoppage time was 7 minutes, 98-minute winner.
Let's not go there. We're gonna
Let's
have
not go
someone,
there.
our boss commenting
Chong,
on the
Chong, good man.
our Chong gonna comment. No, he's gonna be like the elephant stills. But no, but in all seriousness, the Vitality Stadium is not an easy place to go to. We went there on the first game of the season. I'm a Villa fan. Right? When the first game of the season against Bournemouth, I'm like, this is gonna be easy, and we end up losing 2-0. Even though we had Sleepy G as manager, we end up losing 2-0.
No.
You guys drew 1-1 at Vitality.
Hmm.
And like you said, they gave Arsenal a fight for their money, and Liverpool. So I mean, for me, I didn't watch the game, but from a FPL perspective, Salah gave me
Salah.
a grand total of 0 points as captain. 0 points.
And he ballooned that penalty. Salah doesn't miss penalties often. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Pradeep. I don't recall Salah missing a penalty recently. Okay, but
Yeah.
that one was I think it's still orbiting somewhere.
No, the last I heard it was in Marina Bay Sands.
See?
That's what happened. but okay, Pradeep, we want to hear your thoughts, right? I mean, obviously, this is where I want you to let loose like what you had. So you guys were coming off a 7-0 victory over your arch rivals, United.
Massive.
They can say whatever they want. 7-0, it's massive. It's something that not many teams can say they've scored 7 goals. My team can 7-2. Just
Thank you.
And obviously you guys scored 7 goals against Palace that same season as well, right? And then this season, from that victory coming, losing 1-0 to Bournemouth, and like run me through your thoughts and your emotions before you get into the game itself.
Okay, so starting from menu, the 7-0, to be honest, it could have swung either ways in that game. So but if you looked at all the goals that we scored, rather than saying it was a Liverpool masterclass, I think it was a Man United disaster, because their team was, literally the defense just went missing. And if you look at the goals scored, it was more like a ping pong goals. All the goals was just not. I mean, out of the 7 goals, probably 3 goals were well worked and that kind of stuff. If you realize it's just the ball was in the penalty box, you just take a shot, see it's gonna end up in the net. That's like hope and just see what happens. Then we come on to this. I can honestly say, even before the game started, I already predicted we are down, we are gone. First and foremost, we don't have the proper leadership in the team anymore. Hendo is injury prone for this season for some apparent reason. Keita, don't even want to talk about him, because if I start going into him, your show will finish by the end at 12
Let's go.
midnight.
We've got the time in the world, bro. I want to hear about Keita, because you did bring out about Keita earlier before I had to cut you short, right? So this is Monday night therapy for a reason. You see, we invite everyone. Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Didn't he just come back from injury? I mean, I don't know about Keita.
The question is when he's coming back from fitness. That should be his term. He's not coming back from injury. He works the other way around. So with Keita, I think the first season when we got him, we were like, hey, we got the next Steven Gerrard. We're gonna go for box to box. We're gonna go, but he get no goals, but he's gonna go to the box to box. We're gonna go for it. Say, hey, kid, amazing. Second season started showing his that my hamstring has issue, guys. I'm gonna go back and forth with this. Third season, the same thing. He won the title, but he was there for the games, but just that's that. He was there. Full stop. Nothing else. Not influential, nothing. But this season, you can see that he's been exposed to a level that you don't want this guy near your team anymore. Like, any team that sees Keita in the team sheet, they'll be like, yes, we are winning this team. Why? Because you're going to play against 10 men. Keita is missing. He will go missing because when you are not having the consistency of playing with the team, you will not be able to understand how the team works. Basically that's that. I mean, Basic is an amazing youngster who comes in, and your team has issues when you see a youngster, 18. I mean, if I'm not wrong, 18 or so, that's coming into the team. That's solving the issue for you.
Mhm.
I agree to Rizwan that I just see right now. Yes, we did not replace Genie when he went missing. I rather we should have kicked that idiot Keita away, and we should have taken the money. I mean, whatever he's earning,
Mhm.
given it straight right up to Genie. Genie is doing magic in Roma right now. He just got over the weekend, by the way.
Correct me if
You
I'm
know,
wrong, Pradeep. Genie actually wanted to stay for more money, though,
yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I mean, anybody will want to say that. I mean, if you're coming off a title-winning season, you wanna have a better term of a contract. For example, if you're taking yeah, I mean, if you're taking other players in Man City, for example, even their lowest ranked players are probably earning more than what our midfielders, supposedly the world class midfield supposed to be earning. Yes, we understand. I mean, we've got FSG. I'm pro FSG out because
I was going to bring it up, but okay, go on, Kerry.
yeah, I will help you, man, because I can rip right through my team right now because it's literally shit in my team right now. FSG out. Why? Because you know that they are not doing anything right now. Where was the funds that we earned from our title winning season, even before that we had Champions League? All this amount of money that you have, what happened? Question mark. Where did it go? And when Genie left, like yeah, well, like Asno was saying, yeah, when Genie left, question, no, there was no replacement for him.
Mhm.
What did we do? We just turned to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is another garbage. He goes missing, and it's just missing components in our entire team right now. I saw this coming from last season when we were battling all four fronts. If we are going from that to go straight to this season, you can see that we are having a lot of issues. Darwin Nunes, yes, we got him. It's a long-term project. He's
Yes.
gonna miss a
Mhm.
lot more than you see right now. It's frustrating to watch him. He's a Uruguayan Andy Carroll right now, but I have either he becomes a El Pistolero or he's gonna become like air garbage. That's simply said about him. But from what we can see, when he plays, the team is exciting right now.
Mm.
If not, the team is missing. And then we have Luis Diaz who's injured. You have
Mhm.
Jota who's like half the season. It's just very stop start. And
Mm.
I know I'm going to be flamed for this, but instead of Mane leaving, it should have been Salah leaving.
Mm.
I don't.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
to be honest, I think a
I
lot of Liverpool fans actually do share that sentiment as well, right? Should be
We
Salah
yeah,
we
leaving.
we
because
we actually spoke about this, Pratip. Last week we
Mm.
actually spoke about this. Is it time for Salah to go? And I was one
it
of
is.
them who actually said that if they can get a good offer, 40 million for Salah,
Yep.
take it. And reinvest into the squad because yeah.
I
But
mean, to be honest, if you have a team like PSG and all around, they're going to be bidding like 100 million for Salah because
You can even say
PSG they will do
Newcastle as
anything.
well. They are rich as well. The fella supports Newcastle. You can say
No,
Newcastle.
okay, no.
Just say it.
You see, Newcastle are rich, but they have a sporting project with the team, the
Yes,
players they
that's
are
true.
getting.
Yep.
Guimaraes and all these kind of guys. I mean, if you are going for the sporting point of view, I think Newcastle are doing brilliant. It's gonna take time for Eddie Howe to get his team together, but that's a different topic of his own. If you're going for Liverpool, it's just that's what we want. Like to have um, a proper sporting project. We don't have that.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, you okay? I just saw someone saying Salah carried us. I don't think so. It was money.
yeah, I agree. I think it was
You
money.
you you
Yep.
take money away, the team is shit, and that's what is being exposed. And
Mm.
Mane knew. I think Mane knew that if I was to stay on this team, they're just going to be valuing Salah more than me.
Yep.
So let
Mm-hmm.
me just see what happens if I was to move. I mean, eventually I'm going to go Bay and I'm going to win something down there. The title is confirmed. I'm winning every title a year, kind of a stuff. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So if we had the money from FSG to be at least tell us what happened to the Champions League money and the Premier League money. If you're saying you're reinvesting back for the team, then question mark, what are you guys even doing? That means the money we earn the money we are winning we're using what is the purpose of you then? I could have the supporters group to come in to do the same stuff. You guys are not doing anything. You know, it's to get, for example, even for Thiago to come in, they had to have a structured payment to pay a 6 million for him. So, we can't even fork out 6 million to pay Thiago after winning a title. That should run alarms, man. That should set all the alarms off.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pradeep. But wasn't there a statement this week by FSG or something saying that they are very happy with the Liverpool project or something, and they're not going?
They will be happy with Liverpool project because there's Klopp. If Klopp just says tomorrow, it's like, look, I'm done with what FSG is throwing at me. I'm good. I'm going. Let's just see which other manager wants to take this team up. No one. No one would want to come in to work on shoestring budget. Nobody would, unless you're Brendan Rodgers, which I don't want to go back to that era.
I'm sure. I don't think you guys want to go back to the era with Roy Hodgson.
So with that amount of events that has led up to this, you can see why the inconsistency is ongoing. Yes, it's gonna take. We are gonna go on and on and on for the next few years about the 7-0. I think that's the only cup we're gonna be carrying this season, guys. It's gonna be just that we won 7-0 against Man United. Let's clap hands for that. That's about it. It's sad.
Pradeep, sorry, because I just want to know, because you see, right? I'm just coming back to the 7-0 again, right? Because there was a fan base. Your fan base, right? And I was seeing in social media where they were actually saying that even if they don't qualify for Champions League, they are okay with that 7-0 thing because that will live on forever. And I as a football fan, right? If my team, who has consistently been challenging for the title, is doing so bad, and we are now even struggling to fight for the top four, and if my team ends up beating Birmingham 7-0, yes, I will be over the moon because they are shit. But if the top four is slipping away from my hand, I wouldn't give such a comment out, right? But a lot of your fan base actually seem to be saying that, the 7-0 will stay on regardless. Is that do you think that they are confident that Liverpool will be back next season? Is that why they're saying that? Or
I think it's more of the years of torment that United fans has put Liverpool fans through. Which, it's a very I think more of an egoistical perspective from the fans. If you sit down and think about it over the years, if Alex Ferguson era, you just get whipped non-stop. It's just that, but the last few games that you see how Liverpool play against Man U 4-0, 5-0, 4-0, and now you get a 7-0 out of nowhere. It makes you want to think whether, hey, okay, maybe this is what we want to have for this season and be happy about, yay. But for me, I would say, we have more problems to worry about. We are running like a one-man show team right now. Salah is going to be just doing what he does to try and shoot and score as many goals as he wants. He shoots 10, scores 2. Ratio goes out of the window. It's garbage. Yet, you can have that kind of argument that, he's a winger, he's scoring and blah, blah, blah. But if you're telling me that he's not a one-season wonder, but he's scoring 20, 30 goals a season, then it question mark, why is he not converting that much shots as well?
And I just saw Liverpool. You go on. I just saw Liverpool's next 5 fixtures, and I literally shivered because it can be really bad.
I've already resigned to depression. Because I saw the next 5 fixtures starting with Real Madrid. Then we have Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. Then we have Man City. Then Chelsea. Then Arsenal. One of the that was the next fixtures I saw.
Yeah, you're right.
To be honest, with the season going, I'd rather just cover my eyes. I really don't want.
Hey, but you guys did beat Man City 1-0 earlier this season, right? So your record against City this season, United, that has been, the performance has been bad overall, and that's not what we want for a team, right? Beating the top teams and not the bottom one. But I don't think you guys should be that fearful with your next. Well, it's going to take a miracle against Madrid, right? Especially at the Bernabeu. But after that, I think you guys can actually have a huge say in the title race with you're playing City and Arsenal. So look at
Uh,
it from that perspective, right?
But it's away, Tips. I think they are away to
yeah,
City and they are
away
Okay,
away
to
to
away from.
City.
Chelsea. And
Yeah,
Chelsea
Okay,
is
so I
with,
okay.
mean,
you know.
yeah, to be honest, I mean, I'm seeing my social media for a lot of Liverpool fans saying that, hey, we're gonna go to Madrid, we're gonna do a Barcelona. It's like, guys, are you guys sane enough to even think what you guys are saying? Barcelona back then was literally us garbage, and then we have this team right now with Madrid with Ancelotti, who's all out going to be just wanting to just annihilate us every single point of time. It's just that Bournemouth exposed it. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
every game that you realize against the weaker sides, if you realize, it's more of, hey, you know what? We're just gonna do the counter pressing and see what happens. The Gurgen pressing. We see what's gonna happen. Brighton exposed it. It's like, you can do whatever you want. I'm just gonna hit you at the counter with my wings and just gonna kill you. Same thing that happened against Bournemouth. All you have to do is take one long ball, shoot it straight down to the wingers. They're gonna drive through.
Yep.
They're gonna square across, and somebody's just gonna shoot in. That's what happened. Billings came out of nowhere and just scored. That's exactly what teams are doing against Liverpool. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we are. It's quite sad that we don't have the right midfield anymore to
Mm,
cover for the defense. Van Dijk is having a horrific season.
yeah.
You know, I just saw someone say asking us Henderson, Keita, and Fabinho to be sold, who to replace if we play. I think the more than replacing, I think to see from within, we don't have anyone at this time being.
Mm-hmm.
Basitic at the most he can stay. I think he's probably the one that's going to lead the line for the time being
Mm-hmm.
for the mid. So the two other players I think that would be idealistic for this team would be uh I'm going to be flamed for this. I don't think it's going to be Bellingham. I don't think it's going to be all those Huawei signings that this everyone's been
Mm-hmm.
asking for. I'd rather have we need simple players to be playing this team from now on. We need I mean, to be honest, we need McAllister from Brighton. I think he will
Mm-hmm.
do brilliant for this team. And
Mm-hmm.
then we also need like I said, we've got Basic playing along with McAllister at the back, and the one that's going to be taking over right in the middle. I think we still have Thiago. To be honest, he
Mm-hmm.
still can pull the strings. But to replace someone like Thiago, we should go for we should really look for I mean, Lisbon has got a lot of good players right now on their team as well. There are a couple of
Yep.
midfielders that they have right now who's incisive. We don't have midfielders that are going to be going right through the team.
Yep.
All our players are literally just going to be like, you know what, safe option, let's pass back to Van Dijk, see what he does. Let's go and go for the long ball, you know.
Mm.
Um, Moreover, to be honest, we could also move Trent to the midfield.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
tired. I'm tired of watching him being assassinated by wingers.
Yep. Yep.
You have in the Madrid game, you could see how Vinicius Junior was licking his lips against Trent.
Mm,
He was just going on and on and on against Trent, and Trent cannot hold him. Cannot. He couldn't hold against. He cannot hold against Vinicius. Then you have against Man United, you're saying, oh my God, he covered against Rashford so well. I'm like, oh God, come on, be honest. Rashford was not even bothered about him. Rashford was more
Mm-hmm.
trying to play in the middle. And when he was doing that, Arnold was pretty easy because there's no one playing on his side on that day.
Yeah.
If you tell me they had someone who's versatile enough, like Vinicius Junior playing for Man United, I think right now the team would have probably sent us straight to the mortuary, and I'll drive my Liverpool team straight to the mortuary because we'll be dead by then. It's um it's just difficult to be putting a team across other teams right now because you do not know what you see. You can
mm,
have the same team that beat Liverpool, Man United against, like for example, Bournemouth. We are still going to be losing. Like I said, the team lacks leadership. The moment Hendo is not playing, the team is missing because you don't have anyone to organize the team. I'm not saying Hendo is like the perfect midfielder
Mm-hmm.
right now. he isn't. But one thing that he brings to the team is more of stability. You
A
know, when
different.
he plays, yeah, sorry, Sunil, you're saying?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up about
Yeah,
Hendo.
yeah. So when he plays, I think you can see that dog bite down there, literally like, a dog bite saying, that he's gonna be shouting at you like, hey, go for that, hey, go for that, kind of a stuff. But it is what it is, and
Yeah.
it's yeah.
A slightly different take, which we have
Mm,
actually toyed with this idea in during our therapy sessions. As much as it's the players' faults, would you consider pointing the finger at Klopp instead? I know Klopp's not been backed by FSG. We've heard that
mhm,
argument before,
mhm.
But at the end of the day, he's in charge of putting the 11 out there, and he's in
Yeah,
charge of laying them. And would you want to point a
and
finger?
and, and also
yep, I do.
adding on and sorry, and also adding on to what Sunil said, the reason why we are actually talking about Klopp, right? Because a few episodes ago, we actually feel that yes, everyone is talking about FSG, right? And I think you
Mm,
guys will know the nitty gritty details about FSG and how the club is run. We are neutral fans, we wouldn't know. But deep down, we feel that why is Klopp, refrain or excuse from this criticism? I know he's a fan favorite. He's got cult status because of what he's
yeah.
done for you guys,
Mm.
right? That aside, let's just put that aside, and Sunil's question and mine would be, why not Klopp?
Mm.
I'll put the blame on Klopp as well. I'm not gonna spare. I'm gonna spare it as well. You can see many a times he is too rigid with his tactics, rather more stubborn as well. When there are teams that are, the teams are not gonna let you break them down. You're not releasing the players for that reason. You are worried what is gonna happen. It's
Mm.
the what if that is causing the issues here. If Klopp was only going to go take that, screw it, I'm not gonna care about the clean sheet. Let's attack, 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 attack. 2 seasons ago, what he said, it's either we
Mm.
go all out attack or we're not gonna attack. But this season, you can see that he's very cautious. Like, you know what? Let's just keep it simple first and then go for it. But what you realize is when you try to keep it simple, you are being assassinated far further. And I mean, as much as you can shoot a Klopp down, you also need to look at all the players that we have right now as
Yeah.
well. When you have players like Van Dijk, um, the only player that is going to be spared from this conversation of being mediocre or ridiculous this season is Alisson.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to put him out of the equation because he's world class, and if Real Madrid are going to use him to replace Thibaut Courtois, by all means, because he deserves it.
Yeah.
To be honest, if
Yeah.
he moves, you have to let him move because he has done everything possible for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's another topic of its own. But if you're going to go
Yep.
back to Klopp, Klopp needs to be a bit more flexible. That is not right here, right now. He doesn't have the ability to think away from his 4-3-3 formation.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
The
see,
moment you
and that is sorry, and that is what we actually have been trying to say for a while now, right? Because again, like what I said earlier, putting FSG aside, as a manager, and again, no sarcasm, but he is a world class manager, right? He's up there alongside the
Yeah.
likes of Pep and
Won
all
the
that.
Champions League and everything.
Champions
Yeah.
League, he's won it all, and he's done well in the German league as well. So as a world class manager, I think you need to learn how to adapt as well, and
yeah,
need to learn how to make do with the players that you have. Yes, Hendo's injury may be a big concern, and also not having that play like Keita and Van Dijk may not be the same person that he was a few seasons ago. But I think that's what makes the manager who he is, right? I
Mm.
mean,
correct.
yes, nobody can make. I mean, you can't expect a world class manager to do wonders with a team that's mediocre. I agree with that, but this is Liverpool that we're talking about, and they do have players who can actually step up and perform. So, yes, granted, the players are to be blamed. I mean, Klopp has to take some heat as well. I feel that.
I agree. I agree. 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 Okay. Let's just take City for example. They had a season. I think they didn't win the title. When we won the title, you can see Guardiola just ripped right through the team. He changed the team up a little. He let go certain players. He got in. I can't really recall which is the players he got in, but he got in players and he revamped the team. Yeah, I think he got Ferran Torres that season and that kind of stuff. But you could see that when things are not going your way, you sell away the dead wood and then you try to rebuild.
Correct.
Look at Liverpool, for example. We are keeping a 37-year-old guy playing all the position that he
Milner,
can possibly find. James Milner. He is literally covering every
every
position that he
position, yeah.
possibly can. He would even cover the water boy position if it's possible, but we can't. So, but jokes aside, we did not reinvest back in the team when you needed to. I don't think we needed Gakpo. Like I said, these are all my opinions. Like I said, I don't think we needed Gakpo, but I think Gakpo was a signing to prove that despite the current season's proceedings, we still can attract world-class players. It's just a statement.
I don't think
It's just
I think that sentiment is shared among us as well. I don't think Liverpool
Yeah.
should have gone for Gakpo,
Yeah.
and should
Not
have
now.
used that
Not
money.
now.
Not now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
if
now.
you're going to
Yeah,
reinvest in January, not for Gakpo, because they've got abundance. I mean, yeah, granted, Jota was injured and Luis Diaz was was injured as well, but I think it could have been used somewhere else. So it's just very odd, right? I mean,
Eh,
the team that's looking after a
Yeah.
transfer,
So
your sporting director,
so
yeah.
so that's the thing. We have got a lot of problems within the team where we lost the proper head of the scouts and with I think Julian Ward leaving, all these things happening. It makes you want to think what is going inside the team that is
Mm-hmm.
not being told to the fans. That's another question.
That's true.
um it Like I said, it's sad because we won the double last season.
Yep.
And if you are coming back to this season and telling because of, I mean, yes, okay,
Fatigue.
we
Yeah.
lost money. We lost, we lost money. We lost Hendo to injury. Fabinho's having a shit season. All this kind of a thing. Um, when you look at it, you can just say that somewhere something is not right. It's really not right. If you realize all the interviews that Klopp has been giving when he's in regards to FSG, he's been being like that wall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give
Yep.
anything
But
away.
how
Yeah.
but how long can the wall stand?
That's true.
That is the How long can he withstand all of this? At some point, he is going to release one statement to say that, look, you know what, FSG is not going to be doing this because we don't have enough funds. Question then goes back to where did all the funds go from all the championship winning seasons and all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the kind of things that's going to be holding us. But they're literally anchoring this team down to move forward. We could have won the Champions League last season, but we didn't because we didn't have the right substitutes. We were
Yep.
we were really punching above our weights with the ridiculous bench we had.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a bench. You can say that the start of the season we will have a fantastic bench after it becomes shit because we have injuries non-stop. You know, I think I just saw recently a report stating that Liverpool has got the most amount of injured players that's away from the team. That shows how bad the medical team can actually be as well. You know, and also if you're looking at Pep Linders going off season, giving a book for tactics, that was also another ridiculous call. I have
Mm-hmm.
no clue why was that even done as well. Um, if you go to a lot of that small little details that is being put out in the public, that makes you want to think, is Liverpool being exposed because of this?
Yep.
It makes you want to think whether there's more to this.
Right.
If I
Right.
was an
Right.
yeah, if I was an opposition manager right now, I'll be so happy to be facing Liverpool. I'll be so happy to face it because you will have only two versions of our team being seen. The moment you see, okay, let's put a three, the optional case. If you see Keita, you jolly well just say 3 points to the opposition team. And then the two other options is it's either you have the team that played very well against like the one you see against
United.
Man
Yeah.
United,
Yep.
or you see the one that plays horrific enough against
Bournemouth.
to the Bournemouth. Yeah, so we we never learned our lessons from the seasons before. We needed a goalkeeper to head us into Champions League. We,
That's true.
all
Ellison
this
against
kind of
West Brom, right?
yeah, yeah. So all these kind of things, past seasons, you could see that it's being again seen in this season.
Mm.
Whether
Oh.
I mean, I do not know about other Liverpool fans. I am not bothered about the 7-0 at this junction. I am more bothered about what's going to happen to my team moving forward because we are absolute shambles. If the
Mm.
next, I mean, Champions League is gone, we're not going to be talking about it. If you're telling me we're going to go there and win 4-0, I think, I mean, we could just possibly be that, we bought the referee over or something like that. But 4-0 at Bonnaball is just nonsense. It's not going to be happening. This is not 10 years ago when Steven Gerrard was playing, with all those kind of was it Ramos as their manager or something like that? It's not the same. That's not going to be happening. They have a formidable team in Real Madrid, and it's going to be a very, very difficult situation for us. If we don't pull up our socks figuratively as well, I don't think we're going to be in Champions League next season. Hell, even Conference League as well, we're not going to be there. Um, and that's a sad thing because Liverpool as itself, it's too good to be in such a situation. But somehow we have been in this situation. We were so like I said, if we had been Bournemouth, you have solidified your top five
Yep.
position, and
Mm.
then the next thing comes is when is Spurs gonna be losing it, and we have to play Spurs as well.
Yep.
Mm.
If all of that came in our favor, bar the point that the next three games are against the top three teams, it's just painful to be a Liverpool fan at this junction. Man. Like I think one of the menu fans was just saying, that we are literally just knocking at the door for the Moshi right
Hmm.
now because the autopsy is done. You know what needs to be done, but nothing's gonna be done. We're just gonna be put a signboard, patient dead. You're gonna be finding some of the reasons to be finding for it. Every
Look,
time it's
I'm
gonna be just a
mhm.
reason for it.
I'm going to throw this. Sorry, Sun. I'm going to throw this question to you very quickly, right? And this is one of the comments that we picked up from Asmail, and he actually said this:
oh
maybe no
wow.
European football, maybe blessing in disguise. I want to start a proper rebuild from that.
Okay. Let me take this. As a
Go ahead.
neutral, as a
Yeah.
neutral who watches Liverpool games, I would say that yes, the changes need to be made. All right. However, you don't have to start talking about a full rebuild. All right.
Yes.
Changes need to be made. You still have, I would say, a very decent top six defense. Yes, you need to make a couple of changes. You still have a striker who knows where the back of the net
Hmm.
is. You still have Salah take one more or two more seasons, but I don't think you need to have a full proper rebuild. I have said it before that Liverpool is going to be better next season. I don't see them having two bad seasons
Mid seasons in a row.
consecutively.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that. So I see them bouncing back. So I don't think we should ring the alarms yet in the sense of a full rebuild. Yes, I agree with Pradeep. Some signings need to be made. That center midfield is glaring. There's nobody there. Teams go to Anfield, they don't feel the fear anymore. So yeah, there are some changes that need to be made, but you have to look at it holistically lah. I think maybe you don't have to ring the alarms yet. Yes, a couple of changes, but not a full proper rebuild, because a full proper rebuild is what like Newcastle or Aston Villa went through.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah,
We got relegated for heaven's sake. We
yes,
went
we
down the
both
championship.
went
Yeah.
through up and down the yo-yo club. But I think yeah, it's still not too late lah. It's still not too late to stop the rot lah, so as to speak.
I think yeah,
Mm.
and I think I mean let's we should be moving on from this topic, and I'm going to wrap this up very shortly. But before I
Mm.
do that though, I hope you're feeling so much better because I think you needed this therapy, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're
yeah.
and
welcome,
I
man.
think you look
Therapy is
brighter now, to be
awesome.
very honest, right? After you let your emotions out. And I just want to take this comment. obviously, Mio, people are sad when they're talking about their club. Just like how you were sad after you lost 7-0 last week,
He
right?
wasn't. No, no,
I,
he wasn't sad. Yesterday when they lost, he called someone out.
Yeah. He
He was
called
very
someone
angry.
out on Facebook because
He
he
was
was
very
angry.
angry. All right. So yeah, Mio, calm down. All right. We don't do that. We don't do that.
If we end up in Europe, I mean, yes, fair. I mean, okay, Asmil, so I understand where you're coming from, right? I mean, it is going to be a hindrance, but I don't think Liverpool should be without the European place. At the end of the day, it is money. It does generate money. So by not being in this European spot, you guys are going to question FSG even more. So I don't think it doesn't matter.
Dave, Liverpool not being in Europe is a travesty. Okay.
Yeah,
Don't come to me and tell me that Thursday nights are tiring. Maybe for us lah, having to stay up until 3 a.m. to watch the game
yeah,
or what. And but you offer Newcastle or Aston Villa right now
I
any
I will
European
take it,
spot,
man.
I
I
will
will
snap
take
off your
Conference
hand.
League.
I will snap off your hand. I'll be like,
Yeah,
yes, we don't need to go into like crisis mode yet lah. But yeah,
yeah.
European football is what Liverpool is about lah.
You
That's
see,
for sure.
I
you
I
better.
think to actually to sum it up, I think full rebuild not really that midfield, yes. Like I said, there's more glaring issues within the team itself. They need to sort the backroom stuff as well. FSG out definitely. So to I mean, yes, definitely this therapy is well needed for me to let my emotions out. So yes, thank you very much. But Liverpool, we need to be in Europe. We need to be in Europe, man.
I'm just going to take this.
And
Sorry, yeah. Go ahead,
yeah,
Pradeep.
Man United will be very, very happy with how Liverpool is right now. But for the past few seasons, guys, you have been literally our trash boys, man. We literally go to your place, we come to my place. We just
Yeah.
literally assassinated you guys. Make you
Yes,
guys
and
tired.
and adding on to that, Pradeep, if you
Yeah.
guys miss out on Champions League this season, look no further because you guys lost 3-1 to us, and maybe that would have caused you guys to lose out on Champions League this season, Mio. Don't go about talking this Villa in Europe.
Okay,
Anyway,
but,
guys,
but with that we can move on
let's
to our
move on.
Europe topic.
Let's move on
Yes,
to a
please.
Europe topic, right? Let's move on to a Europe topic. The chase for Europe takes another twist. Okay, I'm gonna bring this table up once again, right? Okay, and let's take a look. So we have so we're gonna break this down, right? So we have let's leave Arsenal and City out of it. I think they're guaranteed a Champions League spot. Let's break this down into the Champions League and then the European Conference League, right? So we have United, Spurs, and Newcastle right now battling for the top four, right? And 6 points. Now, Liverpool, yes, they've played one game more than Newcastle. Sorry, one game lesser. Newcastle has played one game lesser, and Liverpool has played one game lesser than Spurs, right? But we've got Brighton, who's played 2 games lesser than Liverpool. So we will add Liverpool into this mix as well. First, it is very tight there, 42 to 58 points difference, and I think in the next 2 game weeks, when everybody has played equal games, we may
Cool
see
games, yeah.
a clearer picture on where this standing would be. And I will go first, right? I think the race for top four, or rather the third and fourth place, has never been this open in recent times, right? And I have a very strong feeling. And I said at the start of the season that Liverpool will not qualify for the Champions League. I said that, right? I think that the teams that will qualify for the Champions League will be United and Newcastle. Pradeep, what do you make of this? We're talking about just the
Uh,
Champions League. It's just third and fourth.
yeah. Okay, within third and fourth itself, I think to be honest, the score against us rattled them. Which is why they are not able to perform moving forth. They're pretty shaky right now. Spurs, they also having inconsistent season. They are just going to be dropping points sooner or later. Newcastle, if they don't pull up their socks, they're also going to be losing points. So that is the next point here. If Brighton wins next 2 games, they go straight into the mix. They go straight
Yep.
right there. They with the upper hand right there. Liverpool, like I said, if we are able to sort ourselves out, definitely we aim for a shout.
Yep.
But to be honest, at the end of the day, I think it's just going to be United and Newcastle as well. I think they're going to be the top four.
And Sunil, I mean, obviously, yep. You saying?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, and Sunil, I mean, your team is in the mix, and we have highlighted this, right? Newcastle's form hasn't been that great since the World Cup restart, and yesterday's win must have been a huge relief for you guys, right? I mean, you guys were down in 6, right? I think
Mhm.
before yesterday's game, I don't know if you guys went to 7, but you guys were down in 6, and yesterday's game actually propelled you back into that contention. Do you think Newcastle has what it takes to see out the end of the season? You guys have played one game lesser than Liverpool and 2 games lesser than Spurs. Actually, you guys have played even lesser games than United as well. So just a couple of wins, it will bring you up there as well. But do you think Newcastle has what it takes to actually see through the season and solidify the top 4?
Okay, I've said this before. I mean, as a Newcastle fan, I
Yeah,
would want nothing more than for Newcastle to do well in this season. But when
obviously.
that goes to what is doing well, because I would feel that we are in phase one of our rise. I would say,
Hmm.
so it's a process. Having If we can make it to top four, I would say it's a massive achievement. All right, it's a massive
Yep,
achievement. I
definitely.
personally, because I feel that we lack the squad depth, I feel like we might not be able to make the top four. Okay, personally, I feel that way. All right,
Okay.
yes, top six is very well within our grasp, but because we lack the squad depth, we haven't actually gone out and like mad spending, the Man City kind of
Yep,
spending
yep.
spree. I would say that, if I see us kind of faltering, kind of dropping points because we still are very reliant on one or two players. Like Bruno was out for 3 games, and then we lost all three of them, and we dropped points, we lost games, and who else is there? Our strikers
But
and
Isak scored for you yesterday, though. You wanted him to start. He started the game. Trippier crosses in and Isak scores.
I've been saying this for the longest time. We really need to give him the minutes because he is a striker who can give defenses trouble. But then again, it just goes back to my earlier point. They do not have the squad depth to actually challenge for a top four place. I would go out and say, I know some Newcastle fans will be against it because they're like, we should go out for top four. We will get top four. But at the end of the day, Jacob Murphy on the right wing bombarding down Champions League is not going to scare anybody. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yes, if we make it to Europe, top six, top five, I'll be very happy. However, if we do make it to Champions League, you
Hmm.
know, there's gonna be money spent, and that's
Definitely
gonna
have to.
be scary for
The teams,
everyone.
other teams, not for
Yeah,
Newcastle, the other teams.
it's
Yes,
gonna be really
definitely.
scary. But as a realist, I would say if we are top six by the end of the season, I would say fantastic job, lads. Good job. I still personally think third and fourth will go to Man U and Liverpool
You think
because
so? You
Liverpool will
okay?
bounce back.
Okay.
Yep, I that's my say on it.
You look at
Mm.
Pratip on your left. He's in shock,
True,
man.
it's
He's
true,
like,
it's true. Yeah, I'm a realist. I'm a realist.
let, let, let's
Shocking,
let's
shocking.
let's see. Do we have any? Okay, nobody's speaking about the champions. I think United have given up hope. That's why Mio is not commenting about the Champions League spot anymore. Let's bring up the table once again, and this time, right? I think let's see. So we've got Brighton down in 7th at this point of time, 39 points. And I'm just going to bring it down until the team that is 11th, right? And obviously that's my team, 35. 7 to 11 is separated by 4 points. And
Hmm.
we have also played one game lesser than Fulham, but we've played more games than Brentford and Brighton combined. So yeah, again, we don't know where this will be in the next couple of game weeks, but at this very moment, 4 points separate the team from, I mean, the 7th to 11th, and we all know 7 gets you Europa Conference League, right? That's pretty tight down there as well. Brighton, Fulham, Brentford, Chelsea, and Villa.
Hmm. And
I
Chelsea has started
personally,
winning games. Yeah?
Chelsea as well.
Started winning games.
Yep, that's 2 games. For me,
Hmm.
I'll go first. I personally, as a Villa fan, I personally don't think that we should be going for the European places this season only because, unlike you guys, Newcastle, right, we can't just splurge the cash. So, if let's say we somehow, gate crash the top 7 and qualify for Conference League, playing on Thursday nights next season may be detrimental to us if we don't spend the money and have that squad depth. So, yes, I would love to qualify, but I think it's a season too soon. But I think I have a very strong feeling that Chelsea may actually end up taking the seventh spot, and the likes of Brighton, Fulham, and Brentford may just drop out. Pratip, what do you think?
Hmm. Brighton is the dark horse of this season. So if you were to ask me, I mean, seven, I would say my team is going to be at seven, but if,
You come on, bro. Have
if,
some confidence. You just had therapy, so right now
no,
it's time to
no,
be
uh,
confident.
okay, let's be optimistic. Yes, we're going Champions League, man. I'm following Sunil, man. I'm going to say we're Champions League. Okay, take, take that away. Okay, but yes, the teams down there, they are all strong enough to be at where they are. To be honest, I think Aston Villa, they should be doing better with the likes of the midfield they have, the strikers they have. To be honest, they should be doing a lot better. But that being said, I think that the Chelsea team, they are. I think Graham Potter's doing garbage, but nobody's going to be calling him
Just to
out.
add, you actually Aston Villa has been doing well since Emery took over. We are
Yeah,
fourth
yeah,
in the
yeah.
table since Emery took over. Actually,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Steven Gerrard was punching above his weight with Aston Villa at some
Newcastle,
point.
we are above you, lah, Sunil. Since Emery took over, lah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Steven.
so
I mean, the lesser said about him, the better, bro. The lesser said about him, the better.
correct. So Emery is what you guys needed. So it's gonna take some time. That's another rebuilding process for you guys. So it's gonna take some
Yeah.
time. So, but if you get an outside chance, I think Aston Villa should be going to the Conference League, or for any of the Europe places.
And
They should
isn't
be able to get.
your centre back, is he back already, Tiban?
Yeah, he's back.
The
He was the bench.
Carlos?
He was on the bench yesterday, so he's back. But
Okay.
we still have injuries. Like you see, Coutinho is still out, and Kamara is
Hmm.
out for a couple of weeks because of that challenge from Dokore last weekend. So yesterday we
Hmm.
missed him. If Kamara was playing in that midfield with Douglas Luiz as a double pivot, I would have been
Hmm.
more confident of us winning the game. I thought we were going to lose, but thankfully we drew. And we still got a few injuries here and there. And Watkins, man, that's like his sixth
Oh
goal in 7 games.
man, that's
That
the
boy is
guy.
on fire. If he doesn't get an England call up, right, I can go all out and say Southgate is a fraud because he's done that
He's a fraud.
so many times.
He is a
He's done
fraud.
that
Yeah, I
so many times to all
agree.
He's
Villa
a
players.
fraud.
He's a fraud. Like
He's
when
a
Grealish
fraud.
when when Grealish was a Villa player, he simply said, and Grealish was, I tell you, he was a different gravy while at Villa, right? He was
Yeah.
literally running the team, and he never got picked. He never got picked. But the moment he moves to City, he's being picked for every single game, right? I mean, even though now he's doing well, but like the start of the season, he wasn't that great, but he's being picked, and Southgate is a fraud. I'm going to pick up some comments first before I get to you guys, right? This is what I did want to say. City are.
Oh
Sunil, you handle this
wow.
fella. Last week he said
Wow.
Arsenal.
Wow.
This week he said City. I cannot like this fella.
Okay, Ridwan, that's you. So you honestly think that City is gonna? Okay, okay. We will let Anwari pick up this comment later if he's around. But yeah, I
Anwari is
think it's very
around
interesting.
because he wants to do this.
Uh,
Hey,
because he's
Anwari, I need
supporting.
you to comment on this, Anwari. I need you to comment on this, right? Okay, it depends how very much Eddie turns up on Newcastle, but anyhow, Eddie anyhow will let Newcastle into Europa. Okay, Anwari, I need you to take this. Last week, a certain someone said that Arsenal is going to win the title. He wants Arsenal to win the title. Just a week later, he sings a different tune and he wants City to win the title now.
He also
This
spoke
boy is a
about
confused guy.
Shafiq Rashid also.
The lesser said about Shafiq Rashid is better as well. This boy is a confused kid. And he thinks Liverpool is not going to even be top 7.
Top 8. He's
Bruh,
yeah.
even I think he's not going to be in top seven. So I mean, I'm agreeing with him. But then again, I'm looking at Brentford at number 5. I'm questioning his decision right now as well. So
Exactly. I mean,
yeah,
okay, Brentford, to be very honest, right? I mean, they've lost 5 games all season, right? And I think that's pretty good. And they have not lost any game apart from the last weekend since October, right? But that's not going to do you any good if you've drawn 11 games. So how is this Brentford team going to finish fifth? If fifth is a question. But Sunil, I want to come to you. Who do you think will qualify for Europa and Conference League based on this?
I would say honestly, Brighton would do well because the Deserby, right? Deserby
Deserve,
is
yeah.
actually Deserby is a proper manager with European caliber. A lot of people forget that he is a proper manager.
Yep.
So I think he will bring them to Europe, and I think Brentford would fade away because, like what you said, that their away form is
It's
questionable.
horrendous
Yes,
actually.
their away form is
Yeah,
questionable. At their stadium they are kings, but away Tony just goes away.
yeah.
So
Tony
it's
goes away,
not
correct.
very reliable. So I would say and
Let me bring
Brighton
it up
and
again.
Brighton and Spurs. I would say,
Spurs.
yeah, Brighton and Spurs. Because if I call it proper, I would say, yeah, Brighton and Spurs. I see Spurs falling off because, yeah, I see them falling off. So Brighton
I,
and Spurs for me.
and since we're talking about the European place, right? I think it's well note. It's well good to note that West Ham is still in the Conference League, right?
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, they are, they are, they
they
are.
still the Conference League, and and I think they have. I mean, if they do continue performing like how they are in the Conference League, and if they win the Conference League, I wonder what's going to happen. Actually, we've never spoken
Hmm.
about this. If West Ham wins the Conference League, because usually the winner of the Conference League goes to the Europa League, right? So
Hmm.
if that's the case, will West Ham then go to the Europa League, right? Regardless of whether they're relegated or not, will they go to Europa League? Will they open up another spot for the EPL team, or will it then be six teams, and the sixth team actually qualify for Conference League?
I see where you're getting at, tips.
No, this is nothing about Villa, right? I'm just wondering,
You
right?
want
Because
Villa
when
to
when
get there.
no. You see, in 2005, when
Mm,
Liverpool won the Champions League, right? And I think that was when Everton finished fourth, correct? And
yeah,
Yeah.
because of that, Everton had to go through the qualifiers while Liverpool qualified automatically, and Everton ended up in Europa, right? But I think the rules were changed since then. So I'm just
correct.
wondering, if West Ham wins the Conference League, do they go to the Europa League, and then does five becomes Europa League and six become Conference League, or will they give seven and eight to Conference? I really don't know. Has anybody thought about that?
Well, I actually have no idea on this. Since the rules changed, I always thought that it would be the runner-up of the. As recently as a couple of weeks ago, I thought the runner of the Carabao Cup, if Man United
No, no.
go in. I thought that was the rule at that point of
Bro, if
time.
that was the rule, we would have qualified for Europa League when we lost to Man City in the 2020 Carabao Cup finals.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But it changed, right? It changed. The rules changed.
They changed a long time ago. When we lost to United in 2010 as well, we didn't qualify for Europa because the rules were
Okay.
changed. Carabao Cup. I think FA Cup, maybe you might. Well, actually, no. I think even that's changed as well. Used to be, but
Yeah.
not anymore. But
Hmm.
it's just a food for thought, right? West Ham, if they win the Conference League, will they qualify for the Europa League? And if that,
Let me let
and
me
talking
just
about,
see. Let me just see who's left in the Conference League. You all go ahead.
I think we've got Villarreal and we've got like Lazio, if I'm not wrong. But
Okay.
honestly, I think this season the EPL table hasn't been. I think it's fun, it's nice, and this is why, and this is exactly why the EPL is the best league in the world, right?
Hmm.
You look at this,
Yeah.
you look at this table. And talking about West Ham, let's move on to the next topic, the relegation battle.
Hmm. Yeah. What goes up
Man,
must come down.
definitely, and just let's take a look. We will include Crystal. I mean, look at 12 and look at 20th. They are separated by 5 points.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace is in it. Yeah,
Well,
we
they're
have to include
definitely in it.
Crystal
They're
Palace.
definitely in
Hmm.
it. The Crystal Palace hasn't won a game this calendar year. So
Hmm.
all their wins came in in the first half of the season, actually. They
Mhm.
haven't won any game. And looking down at Southampton, who drew yesterday, I think Leeds drew as well. Bournemouth won. West Ham drew. Leicester, well, we'll come to them. Forest lost. Wolves lost. I think what happened to Everton? Did they draw?
They
They
won,
won.
They
right?
they won.
They
They're
won
right.
1-0.
So looking at this, I don't know, man. I mean, we've been talking about this for the past two shows as well, right? And right now we actually have to, let's talk about Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira. I mean, at the start of the season, a lot of people said, Patrick Vieira is the manager to watch out for. Palace is the team to watch out for. And let's be honest, right? They have the players. Olise, Eze,
Hmm.
Zaha on his day. He's good. And but they've got a good two defensive mid as well. What's happening with Palace, man? They're just horrible.
I think I actually saw they played last week, right? Last week they played against Who did they play?
Last week they played Villa, they lost 1-0. Then they played City, then they lost 1-0 in the last game week though.
City. Yeah, last game was City. So I watched
Yeah.
that City game, and to be honest, they had no end product. I was actually very disappointed with Zaha because Zaha on his day, like what you said,
Yeah.
he will easily go into the in on his day. On his day, he can start for any of the top four teams.
Yep.
All right, he's fast. He knows the goals. He knows where the goal is. He knows how to cut in. He's a menace, lah. But he was
Yep.
just so negative. The whole game he was just so negative. He kept getting muscled out, and you are playing against Man City. You are bound to get muscled out. They have Rodri. They have players who are much more physical, and he was just letting his displeasure show on the field. And I think
Yep.
there was one instance also where he actually he shouted at, was it Ayu or something, and Ayu actually told him, get your head back in the game.
Yep. Yep.
And these are the kind of things that I think we really need to stamp out, lah. And that's why they probably have not been getting the results. But having said that, I think they probably have too much talent to go down because
Okay.
Vieira, Vieira, right? Patrick
Yep.
Vieira will still get the results, and he knows how to probably get them safe.
But
Yeah,
you got to understand, right?
form,
They
right?
have not only form the last three games. So I think it was City, Villa, and I don't know who they played before that. They haven't had a single shot on target in their last three games. And with
Mm,
all their attacking option that they have, like the likes of Olise, Ebriche Eze, Zaha, and I think who's their striker, that dude from Celtic, last forgot his name. And even IU as well. These are players who can actually that front four on paper is very scary, right? That
mm,
front
Edward,
four on
yeah,
paper is
Edward,
very
yeah.
scary. Yeah, Edward, yeah, Edward. That front four
Edward.
on paper is very scary, right? And their keeper Guayata, he's known to be pretty decent, right? So I don't know, man. Like Pradeep, no shots on target, right? For the last three games. So
See, that's the beauty of Premier League, right? You expect the unexpected over here. On paper, you can have like the best attack right now. I mean, a certain team has got Coutinho as well, but they don't take a proper shot on target at times as well, right? So same thing as well. So when you look at Palace, yes, like what Sunil said, Zaha, this season he's more like a different player. It's a very frustrated player. I think he doesn't want to be at Palace anymore. You know.
yeah,
Mm.
and that was my
Um,
next. Do you all think that Zaha is actually not performing because he's actually out of contract at the end of the season?
Oh, he's
yes.
he's done.
Yeah, he's at the end of the season. He has not extended his contract
He's
till
gone.
Yeah.
FIFA. He's gonna go probably.
He's
So
gone.
do you
He's
think that
gone.
could be
So I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to go. I don't think he wants to be spearheading a project that will not give him any returns in terms of trophies and that kind of the stuff. He is in fact too good to be inside this Crystal Palace team, to be honest. No
and he's been there
disrespect to any
for a very
Palace
long
fans.
time, right?
Yeah. So I think he has served his loyalty. You can't question it. He's something like a Grealish in that case. He could, if
Dude,
he wants to
you
move.
put Grealish and Zaha in the same sentence.
No, no, no,
Zaha stayed in Palace for
no, no.
7 seasons.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is in terms of the loyalty aspect, not really in terms of anything else. In
Pradeep,
in
I
in
love
in
you,
terms
but
of yeah.
I want to give you a bit of a context here about Grealish, right? Grealish
Gilles
and
say he'll never leave.
loyalty. Grealish, yes,
Yeah,
Grealish
he
and
said he will
loyalty
never leave. Then he
cannot be put in
left.
the same
Yeah.
sentence. I'll tell you why, right? So when we were relegated to the championship, right? Grealish was looking at the first opportunity to leave to United, right? But United didn't come in for
Yeah.
him. And then Spurs came in with a solid bid of 3 million plus Josh Onoma. Stupid Spurs, right? And he was actually willing to leave until the new owners came in and gave him a contract. And then we got promoted. He signs a new contract, my city, my club, my whatever shit, and he leaves for 100 million. Yes, he got us the money. Because of that, we are safe. So I've got no ill feelings, but loyalty and Grealish just doesn't go hand in hand.
Okay.
Whereas,
But when I meant in terms of loyalties, the years they've been there. I mean, to be honest, in this case, you have to look at it in
yeah, yeah.
current context. You do not see that sort of mentality for any players. Like for example, we have Luis Diaz on our end. He has
Mm-hmm.
openly said in 2 to 3 seasons, I'm going to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how things work. But going back to Zaha, I think Zaha should be moving at the end of the season. You know, they have a proper attack as well in terms of Edward. You know, they have IU as well. They replenished the team in January and they did well. But that's where the problem comes in. They did not have the time to gel this team up.
Mm-hmm.
IU is too much of a uh, I want to get this going, but I don't know how to get this going. That's the kind of
Yep.
player I look at IU every single point of time. Both the IU brothers are as such. We want it, but we don't know how to get it. You know, that's
Yep.
the players they are. But
Yep.
Vera is I personally think Vera is an amazing manager, but at some point, you know, there is that run of form. You know, you go at the high, you have to drop at some point. This is that drop to show your caliber as a manager. Whether will your team be able to pick itself up, or is it going to just stay down there? Because if they are going to stay down there, then that bottom three will be having Palace for sure.
Exactly. And do you think it should be a cause for concern? Because as much as you have said, Vieira is a great manager, right? I mean, granted, they did start the season pretty decent. I think last
Yeah.
season they had a decent season as well, and Vieira got them the results. Now they are just on a downward spiral. So Neil, do you think that they should then consider, if let's say the next few games, I don't know, I have no idea who they're. Wait, let me just take a look. I was just actually taking a look. They are playing. Palace is playing Brighton, Arsenal. So that's two difficult games. And after that, they've got a 6 pointer. Oh my god, they're playing Leicester, Leeds, Palace, Everton, Wolves, West Ham. Their next
Exactly.
6 games are, with teams that is around them. So
Mm.
if they end up losing to Brighton and Arsenal, and they may just be well brought into the mix. So do you then think that it's time for maybe Patrick Vieira to go, or do they just stick with him?
Okay, I've never been a big fan of sacking managers so close to the
End of the
end of
season.
the season. All right. I mean, yes, Everton got lucky. They managed to get that one person who I
The
think
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
drag their team out of the relegation
Yes.
zone. And he has already done it. They are like, I don't know where they are now. I think like 13 or 14. You know, they
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
are
they are
yeah,
15,
15,
but
yeah,
yeah,
they're
it's
15.
1 point
But
above. Yeah.
if they do let go of Patrick Vieira, question is who comes in? It's
Yep.
it's basically another 12 games till the end of the season. Who comes in? Who learns the team? Who learns the tactics? Who learns the players in 12 games and expects them to, actually start picking up points? I would say stick with Vieira and then uh, see how he does in the next season if you're still around. Lah. If not, I don't think Vieira's gonna stick around in the championship also. Lah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll stick around the championship as well. But because we've covered the relegation topic a few times now, Pratik. We've covered that, like the past few shows, and we've actually never thought about Palace at all, right? Because it
Yeah,
was like a
correct.
neither here nor there situation with them. But
Mm.
with how the weekend games has gone by with the results, they really, really, really are in that mix. Big Sam, Sam Allardyce.
I think that would be
So
a detrimental signing.
nah, yeah, it's like getting that the other dude that they had Roy Hodgson last season. And with
Exactly.
Palace, I mean, obviously we have Wolves, Forest, and we've covered so much about them. I actually want to talk about Leeds. I mean, for all the talent that they have, I
Ah,
just don't understand why they're down there. Right? I mean, we've spoken about this, Pratip. Like Leeds,
uh,
another team to go shopping, a good shopping team as well, together with West Ham and Palace if they go down.
I mean, I mean, when they had that the previous manager, I mean, I can't remember
Yes,
the
Jesse
manager
March.
before they sacked him.
Bielsa,
Yes, correct.
Bielsa.
Yeah, has it? Yeah, has he much?
Oh, has it?
I think he wasn't the. They should have been sticking with their previous manager before has he
Bielsa.
much, to be honest. Yeah, Bielsa. Now they are still, you know, I don't think they signed a manager yet, if I'm not wrong, but um, you know, it's around with Leeds, they still have no clue what they are playing. It's like they don't have
Mm-hmm.
an identity. Like, you know, with Bielsa, you know, like, okay, you know what, they're just gonna go at you non-stop. I don't
Yes.
care if I'm tired, but I'm just gonna go at you. But now when you look at the team, it's like, you know what, this team is just there, you know, you can just go at them. It's another Liverpool, but just there's a different side of the table, that's all. Because,
I think you need
you
more
know,
therapy, lah, Pratip.
no, 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 no. That part of it is done, but it's just that, you know, with Leeds United, they have the perfect team on the paper. See, the thing is with EPL is you can have the best. I mean, when you look at the paper, they have the best teams that you possibly can find. But are they as a unit? Are they like Arsenal? With do they have the team spirit? That's what's lacking right now.
Mhm.
If you're talking as much as about Leeds here, I mean, you can also speak about Everton. They are having a world of a talent down there, and they are straight in there. They are not like far. They are just like popping up and down between the top three, bottom three, and back and forth. So Leeds United, they need to be finding their identity, and with 12 games to go, it's a bit tedious in that case. I don't think they will be able to find that identity, and they're gonna go straight back where they came from last season.
Mm.
So it's quite sad that they are just there. eh,
This
I honestly think that they have a proper wingers in terms of who was it, Harrison, I think his name,
and Bonobo.
Harrison in yeah, all this kind of yeah, that guy, that dude. Yeah, so this team has got substance. Again, they don't have the playing style. They need to find out that style. That's the concern down here.
That's true. And Ridwan actually did have a good. I mean, their keeper Bamford, Rodrigo. I mean, I wouldn't say Bamford much, but Rodrigo, Gnotto, Harrison. I think that is a good crop of team to build around. And and
Yes.
and and for the money that they've invested this season, right? I honestly thought that they will be much higher up the table. Not say competing for Europe, but at least a higher up the table. So I don't know, man. I mean, we've spoken about this, and I think we're gonna end the show very soon. And I think Sunil, before that, I wanna just check with you, right? Like Leeds, if given a chance between Leeds, West Ham, and Palace, because these teams have no disrespect to the other teams before I get flamed by their supporters, but between these three teams, we know that they've got bucket loads of talents in their team, right? And I could do with some of them, and I mean, I'm sure you will probably look at some of for your team as well. Out of these three teams, if given a chance, who would you want relegated so you can go shopping?
Wow, that's a tough one. But if you ask me, obviously we need another central midfielder. The best central midfielder among those three is Declan Rice. So I would like to see West Ham go down. But I mean, honestly, if you ask for my picks for the three teams who I feel are gonna go down, I would say Southampton because they or as much as they tried, the fact is they looked very evenly matched against a 10-man Manchester United team.
Mm-hmm.
They look very evenly matched. And apart from James Ward-Prowse, I feel like their youngsters probably need a couple more years. Yes, they have very good youngsters,
Yep.
Bazunu and the likes. But I think Southampton is going down. I have to agree with Pratip on this. I think Leeds is lacking an identity because of the way they change managers. I disagree with the sacking of Jesse Marsh. I think Leeds is right in there. And as
Mm-hmm.
much as Bournemouth got the win, I think Bournemouth is down as well. So if you ask me, I would say uh, Bournemouth, Southampton, Leeds. Yeah.
I mean, I would say the same as well. I think Bournemouth and Southampton, they should go. I mean, I think you got
Mm.
better teams. I don't know if there are better teams that's gonna come up from the championship, but I think in terms of the EPL this season, Bournemouth and Southampton, the two South Coast teams can go. And between the third team, honestly, again, if I would want a player from their team, would be Jared Bowen, or even Said
Ah,
Benrahma. So
okay,
that'll be
okay.
West Ham, right? But if it's Palace, then I'll take Eze or Olise. But I think Leeds will go down. And before we end this show, we always ask this question. Pratik, we want to ask you though, who do you think will get relegated? You've already said Leeds, right? Your other two
Mm.
options.
Okay. To be honest, it's gonna be Southampton, Leeds, and Everton.
Ooh,
Southampton,
Everton. So you
Everton.
think Sean Dyche's magic is gonna run up?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna think it's gonna run out. I mean, you look at Everton. They are not. It's not like I think Sean Dyche brought a stability again. To be honest, if you see,
Yeah.
it's going this way again, up and down, and I can see them again being whooped by the next few games. And yes, I mean Southampton goes. I agree with one. I would love to have James Ward-Prowse. Man, that guy's free kicks are amazing, and
Yep.
that's exactly what we need. So I would love to have him in the team. So my pick here is
Actually,
definitely Southampton, Leeds, and Everton.
talking about Everton, right? I mean, before we go, Everton, ever since Sean Dyche came on, right? The only teams that they've lost to are teams above them, right?
Mhm.
Well up there, which is Arsenal and Villa. And the teams around them, they've actually gotten the points that they needed. They beat Leeds, they beat well, sorry, they lost to Brentford, they beat Brentford, they
Mm.
beat Leeds, and they actually drew with Forest. So these are
Mm.
results that's actually pretty crucial, and they are. But maybe you're right that their next few games are actually pretty horrible. They're playing Chelsea,
Yeah,
Spurs, United, and Fulham, and then
exactly.
they got Palace in between before they play Newcastle. So okay, that's true. That's gonna be quite
It's a
tough.
massive
So,
ask. It's going to be a
But
massive ask. So
yeah, it is. It is. It
yeah,
is. Yeah.
I think this season will be one of the seasons whereby the relegation battle will, okay, I would say team number 20 will be decided way before game week 38.
Mm-hmm.
However, teams 19 and 18 will go down to game week 38. So
Oh,
you
that
could possibly even see like two teams getting relegated on game week 38.
yeah,
it's quite cool, and I hope the same happens for Europe as well. Like
Yeah, who knows?
like
Correct.
game week 38. It's still wide open where 2 3 teams can make
open.
it to the Champions League or the Europa League or even the European Conference League, right? So I think, and hopefully the title decider goes on last game of the season as well, and I think this would hands down be one of the best season ever, I would say, then, right? All right, guys, with that being said, I think, what, we had a good show. I mean, Pradeep, I hope you had a good therapy actually, because you really
Thank
poured out
you.
your
Yes, I
feelings.
certainly did.
I hope it made your Monday feel better, and probably have a good rest of the week for you, and obviously for your club as well. And Sunil, as usual, thanks, man. I mean, yes, we've had all the guys who probably went missing everywhere: Anwari, Joel, Aizam, Noah, but we did it. So just want to say thank you everyone for watching us once again. This is your boy Theban, Sunil, Pratik. We take our leave. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, for Monday Night Therapy. Ciao. Bye bye.
Ciao. Thanks. Cheers.